3.5 pounds of chocolate. The doctors are gonna take my leg. This plus dozens of nice pre-painted critters for your Dungeons & Dragons tabletop on today's miniature mashup. Yowie is an environmentally conscious Kinder Egg knockoff from Australia. Yowie is the candy treat that answers the question, what if Steve Irwin could lay eggs? Where Kinder Eggs are full of an assortment of cutesy plastic crap, Yowie eggs have a fairly high-quality animal figure inside, many of which will work just fine for your tabletop as miniatures. Cartoons on the Yowie website feature 6 monsters, each one a guardian of a different biosphere. So already, this is Dungeons & Dragons content we're dealing with. Now, normally, these little eggs cost $2.50 a pop, but they went on clearance at my local Food Lion.
That's the very same Food Lion where a crazed motorist tried to drive through the windows only a few months ago. Let's take a look at that. I promise it's almost as exciting as me buying some discounted toys.
Everybody move out! Move out! I don't know why he's doing it, but you don't want to give him something that we don't want. Yeah.
But they went on clearance at first for $2, which was still a little too rich for my blood, but then for 10 cents a piece. So I got $120 worth of toys and chocolate for $5.40. What do you say we crack these open and see what's inside? There are 5 layers to a Yowie egg: foil, chocolate, egg, booklet, and toy. The foil is going in the trash can behind the camera, the chocolate's going into this large bowl on the right side of the screen, the toys are in the middle, and eggs and booklets on the left. At least that's the plan. There's a lot of crap here. Now, the foil on the outside features one of the 6 monster guardians of the different biospheres. I think this pink one is Boof. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. The chocolate inside the foil also has their little face on it. But you can see on our first egg, crack it open, and we've got a cuttlefish. Very nicely painted. I'm going to show you some pictures here because unfortunately, the camera is focused on Magic Fruity Pebbles, which was also on clearance. I guess you could have guessed that. The same day I got these, and that became my backdrop. But in addition to the cuttlefish, you get a couple of cuttlefish facts that you can find in a little booklet. I think they have different facts on the Yowie website, so that's kind of nice. This cuttlefish, very cool. He can be carrion crawler or some kind of a guardian of an illithid lair. Cracking open the next one, we see we have a sturgeon fish, which is a very prehistoric fish. It's got bony plates. It's an odd looking fish. So for any kind of a water encounter, it's not bad. It's technically a predator. Its mouth is on the underside of its body. It really couldn't attack people if it wanted to, but your players don't need to know that. Number 3, we've got a little seahorse on a stand. And that could be a statue or something. I don't see that as a monster or any kind of an encounter, but it's nice the way it's standing up, maybe for some kind of an Atlantean dungeon. 2 of those in a row. Okay, 2 seahorses. Not loving it so far here. Next up, we've got a tuna fish, which is also a predator. Most fish are predatory, so that's gonna get old, me saying that. The tuna is not particularly great. Again, you know, if you're having a water encounter, it is very large. It's almost the size of a real tuna, I would say. Next up, we've got a penguin. All right, that's going to be pretty much worthless for your tabletop. That's going in the resale pile. I believe this is the yellow-footed penguin. And a leopard seal. I might get some use out of that in specific situations. Leopard seals are predatory, and they probably can be territorial. I don't know. I didn't do any research. Not much of a monster there. Could be more of a companion animal, though. In the right campaign, if you're playing out up in Icewind Dale, the leopard seal would be kind of a fun companion for a ranger up there. Next up is a hammerhead shark. This is a good one for D&D. Again, of course, you have to have a water encounter, but if you are going to have a water encounter, that is a reasonable size for a shark. It's a little bit larger than a man, It's nice. A lot of the sort of fish I have are gigantic right now, so getting something that's a little toned down from that size is nice. Another cuttlefish, that's fine. I really enjoy those. We get enough of those and we'll have an encounter there. You know, a little pack of floating and crawling cuttlefish. What I like is those don't necessarily have to be water encounters. They kind of stand on their tentacles and have a really nice spooky look. Next up is a sunfish, and he's got a little base, which is cool. And the thing about the sunfish is he's weird enough to be some kind of a floating or flying monster. I can't tell you what. I don't know if there's any kind of a good analog in D&D right now, but even if you had to make up stats for it, it's a nice, odd-looking critter to throw at your players. Cracking open this next one here. Another sunfish, so, okay, cool. We've got like a mated pair right now. This egg is pink and yellow, which probably means it comes from a different set. Yeah, we've got a salamander. That's not an ocean critter, so I guess that is different. Good size on him. He'd make a nice giant lizard. And then we pull another sturgeon right after that. Another seahorse. Okay, let's hope that's the last one. I'm not really super into the seahorses. As you can see, the chocolate's already starting to come out of the bowl here. Crack open another one. All right, this is one of the goofy monsters. I think that's Boof. He's like the... he's not the kangaroo monster. I don't know what he is. Oh yeah, he's the bandicoot monster. Yeah. Not going to use those for D&D. If I pull any more of those, they're just getting resold. They're too cute. They're simply too cute to be anything I would throw at my players. Another hammerhead shark. Awesome. Good scary predator. Nothing wrong with that. Here you can get a pretty good look at the chocolate face on these critters. This one's split in half, which is nice instead of crumbs. A lot of these are very crummy because they were sitting in a clearance bin with cans on top of them. Here we got yet another salamander. Different kind, but again, it could be statted out as a giant lizard. It's got a good size, nicely detailed. Weird looking, which is nice. A lot of these animals they chose are oddballs, which is perfect for D&D. Yep, okay, that's Rumble. That is the kangaroo guy. And another goofy monster from the Yowie set. I guess they're called Yowies. I don't care for them one bit. And I guess we're just gonna sell them off. Okay, yep, another one. The bandicoot guy again. Another pink and yellow egg. Cool. This is from a different set. We'll get a little variety here. Pop that open, and we got a little birdie. Well, I guess this guy could be a proxy for an axe beak or something. It's a little standing bird, and it's kind of a wicked-looking beak, so could do something with it. Cool, another cuttlefish. I like that. Every one of those I get is a bonus. They're so far they are my favorite thing out of this set. Let's pop open another one. What do we got going on here? All right, a crayfish. Cool, cool. I already have a very similar toy for it. I also have another hammerhead shark toy that's about that size. So these guys are giving me variety and adding to something I've already got. Just pulled another tuna there, just putting it in the tuna pile. It's not particularly interesting. Another yellow and pink egg, and we've got a fox. Cool. This is a nice giant fox. That'd make an excellent companion for a druid or ranger. Let's pop this open, see what we got. Another salamander, so nice. 3 giant lizards so far for D&D. Can't argue with that, especially for a dime a piece. Yep, this is Squish. This is the water monster, the water Yowie. She's got platypus genes, I guess. It's way too goofy for words. Unfortunately, real monsters would have been neater, but these sort of Sesame Street monsters. All right, this is a giant river otter. Okay, otters are predatory. It's got kind of a weaselly look. It could easily proxy for a giant weasel, and that's great. You know, giant weasels are monsters right out of D&D, and you can have this be an animal companion or just an obstacle for your party. Nice. And another one. All right, cool. We'll get a pack of these maybe if we keep going. I'm pretty sure giant weasels attack in packs, although they're almost definitely solitary. In real life, weasels are. Another crayfish, good stuff. That's a good nasty monster. Could proxy for a giant scorpion if you don't have any. I do have a bunch of plastic scorpions from the dollar store, though. All Halloween stuff. Another sunfish. I think that makes 3. That's a nice little weird encounter. 3 sort of floating sunfish. That'd be a fun thing to throw at your party. Alrighty. This is Crag the Crocodile Yowie, and he's the protector of the marshlands. But who cares, really? Let's pop this puppy open. By the way, oh, this is a weird one. Cool. This is a sandfish, although I'm certain it's not a fish. It's definitely some kind of a worm. But it's called the sandfish. Good and creepy. Looks like a giant maggot. Surely we'll have a use for that in sci-fi or not. All right, this is a wolffish, and they've got a really freaky, ugly face, which makes them perfect for D&D. That could be anything. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a fish. Another goofy Yowie monster. This is Dippet or something. He's like the meadow monster. Who cares? Got another pink and yellow egg here. Let's see what we got inside. Oh, let's get that chocolate. It's starting to pile up to a ridiculous degree here. Yellow pink egg. Inside we've got a ghost crab. Cool.
According to the Yowie website, this is an African grass owl, so okay.
Little giant crab. It's bigger than a man. Not much, but that's a good size for a monster encounter. I like that. Starting to get to the bottom here. I didn't buy any donuts. I needed a box to put these in, and that box was in clearance, so I just threw all the Yowie, as many as I could, into that box when I took it in my shopping cart. I'm going to start putting some of this chocolate in there. I'm also getting a pile of plastic eggs, which is something I could never come up with a good project for. I guess I could make like a big Tyranid eggscape. I was thinking about maybe putting the plastic eggs into some foam and then using some hot glue. Just sort of painting that up, maybe green, sort of like pale, yellowy colors. We got another tuna fish here. Just put that on the pile. But otherwise, I really don't have a good project for eggs. If you guys have any suggestions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Give me some ideas. And another leopard seal. Not one of my favorites, the leopard seal, but it's okay. I mean, it's something, it's not unusable, but it's just very rare that you'd use it. You know, something like the crayfish I could break out every once in a while. Yeah, this is the koala monster, the koala Yowie. He's the protector of the treetops, but again, no one cares. It's not way too cute to ever employ in any kind of, you know, if you play some kind of baby game, perhaps you'd want these things, but I sure don't. Cool, another cuttlefish. I've lost track. That's either 4 or 5, I think, of those cuttlefish, and they are really nicely painted. They've got a really cool underbelly with a lot of details. Another wolffish, awesome. I really like them. They've got this freaky face. They're very intimidating looking. Another squish. Who cares? Throw her on the pile. Another wolffish. Nice. Starting to accumulate those. I could easily sort of make a hydra out of those guys. And another cuttlefish. Wonderful. So I got a big old pack of cuttlefish, which is cool. Like I said, they could be carrion crawlers. And another one. That's probably about 6, I think. 6 cuttlefish to act as carrion crawlers. And another goofy Yowie. Another giant eel. Not giant eel. Another giant weasel. That's the river otter. And another sturgeon, which is fine. You know, lots of fish. Probably more fish than I'd like, but I think this was the ocean set. So, another river otter. Excellent. I've got a big old pack of giant weasels to throw at any PCs. And this is some kind of a trout. There's a new fish. You know, again, it's just sort of like a giant fish. And I got another crayfish here. Cool. Keep them coming. And 3 of those guys. 3 bandicoot yowies. I'm not interested. Don't like them. Another crayfish. Sweet. Those are perfectly fine for the price. Now, not all of these are super well painted. Some of them will pick up a lot, like this ghost crab, for example. He's just sort of a solid orange, and there's lots of little details in his shell. And so I'm just going to bring that out with a little brown wash. I'm just using the Games Workshop's sepia tone wash, and I'm just going to go over him, just get in the recesses there. Don't let it puddle up too much. But I'd like to see some more detail on this guy. He's got all these great sort of segmented plates on his front that make up his mouth and face, and you really can't see them, you know, especially if he's going to be down on the table. So let's get some wash in there to really make that stand out and really define all those plates. And he's got segments on his legs and stuff too, and I'd love to get that out. So they do have kind of a gloss on them. They're very fine. They're not designed to be painted. I didn't wash them or anything, although they are probably painted and sealed. I doubt they just come out of the mold this way. They might. I don't know the process. So this wash is not behaving normally. It is sort of bubbling up. It is a little bit more work than it would normally be on, let's say, a model you paint with some kind of a flat model paint or craft paint. Whatever is on here is very sort of paint resistant, but with a little persistence and plenty of application, the brown does go on there and it does work. You just got to work it a little more than you might be used to. So let's also do the sandworm. Has got some nice little segmentation, but he's almost one solid color. And there's lots of little detail on him, and I'd like that to show up. So I'm just putting the wash on him as well. Same thing, I'm just using the sepia wash. Might want to go with something like Null Oil if you think that's better. I'm just going with brown on this. Just get it in there just to make those segments pop. Bring out the bumps. I can also do a little dry brushing on him later when this dries and really bring out that bumpy texture on his skin. And with the wolffish, I'm using the dark blue wash, using some kind of a shadow blue wash from Games Workshop, and I'm using that to bring out the wolffish faces. They're all one color as well, and there's lots of detail in it, and I'd really like them to show up on the tabletop if I'm ever going to play with them. Let's take a look at what I've got and see how it looks on the tabletop with another miniature figure. As you can see, they're pretty cool. They look pretty good, especially for the price I paid for them. It's a very happy purchase. If you are just a Yowie person and you're wondering what's with the D&D thing, that's what my channel's about. So obviously it's all about applying this stuff to the tabletop gaming. Guys, if you like this video, please hit that like button, hit the bell so you don't miss future videos, and subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider donating to my GoFundMe campaign. The link for that is in the description below. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.